السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلق والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يسعدنا باسمي أنا حصة دراهم وباسم سبور بي اس اي يو الترحيب بكم جميعا حضورنا الكريم في سلسلة محاضرات تحت عنوان Pharmacoeconomics in Saudi Arabia بتقديم الدكتور بندر بلخي والدكتور زياد المالكي. يستضيف الدكتور بندر بلخي أستاذ مساعد في سياسيات واقتصاديات الدواء في جامعة الملك سعود، مستشار في اللجنة الاقتصادية الصحية الوطنية بالمجلس الصحي السعودي. تفضل معنا دكتور بندر.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، وسعد الله مساءكم جميعا، وشرفت نكون معكم اليوم، والشكر لإسبو شابتر في جامعة سلطان على الدعوة، وإن شاء الله بكون معكم خلال الساعة القادمة، وإن شاء الله يكون استضافة جميلة وشيقة ولقاء ممتع يكون. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. إن شاء الله خلال الساعة القادمة راح نكون مع بعض نتكلم عن Pharmacoeconomics in general، بنركز على موضوع تطبيقات الفارماكونومكس في السعودية إن شاء الله. فبنشوف هنا هل Pharmacoeconomics مجرد theory، مجرد something that we learn in the academia, in the school, or whether there's a real application in this type of science in real world, how we can really benefit from applying such tools in our healthcare system, in our patients, to our physician, and etc. Objective was this meeting, inshallah, to understand why pharmacoeconomics importance, why it's important now in this decade. We will also describe the role of pharmacoeconomics from the patient side, from the physicians, manufacturer, and also healthcare buyer and policymaker. But here at the end, we're gonna focus about how we can apply it in healthcare decision making, what type of methodology we can use, and how this can really benefit all of the healthcare. The question is how we gonna optimize our budget in the best way, in the best solution, how we can allocate our resources, so we can minimize the consequence and maximize population health for benefit according to the budget we have. So there should be a solution for that, and one of the tools that can help decision makers decide how we're gonna allocate the resource is by using the pharmacoeconomics tools, and that's what we're gonna see inshallah. Pharmacoeconomics is not about the cheapest option. So this is one of the things that some people think, okay, we usually go to save money. So this is not usually the case. So sometimes you can use the medication that's more expensive, however give you more benefits. So in terms of you have to compare the cost and outcome, so that's why at the end you have to think about both together, not only the cost and go the cheapest option, because sometimes even if the medication is that cheap, sometimes have a lot of the consequences, like maybe increase the patients going to ER, increase patient visit, increase side effects, and etc. So if you have to think about all the angles to have the big picture about that. So what's pharmacoeconomics? So basically the scientific disciplines concerned with the cost and value of the medications. So it's not only about the cost as just mentioned, it's cost, value, and all comes together, and we'll see this in a little bit inshallah. فالهدف الأساسي من الفارماكولوجي is to optimizing the allocation of the healthcare resources. عندنا healthcare resources محددة موجودة, is limited, so how we can use it in the optimal way. Pharmacoeconomics, because we think about the value, we have to consider both arms together. We have to consider the cost of the medications, how much we're going to pay, and what we are getting from these funding or spending that we're going to spend, what the outcome that we're going to. We have to compare both together. We have to make comparison across several medications, two and more, to see which medication give us more benefits, more value. And you know that here we have looking for the cost is one of the important parts. For my importance is to have the cost. If you get the first step wrong, everything at the end gonna be failed. Even your decision gonna be wrong because it's based about inaccurate information. So it's very important to understand we're gonna collect the cost. From where you're gonna collect the cost? Is it a very recent cost? You have to understand how you're gonna collect and apply the discounting. So this is the first step for any economic evaluation. The next arm in pharmacoeconomics is the outcomes. And the outcome must be relevant to the patients, relevant to the disease you are interested in, relevant to the medications, and appropriate. The real application of pharmacoeconomics. Who's gonna use it? Who's gonna benefit from pharmacoeconomics? Okay, we have pharmacoeconomics study. Who's gonna use it? So I am telling you that all the stakeholders can be benefit from such studies. The patients, the physicians, the payer, the manufacturer, the policymaker, everyone can be utilized and have some benefit from pharmacoeconomics studies. تطبيقات بشكل كبير تكلمنا عن تطبيقاتها مع المرضى بشكل خاص، كيف ممكن المريض يستفيد من التطبيقات الاقتصادية الموجودة في اختيار الدواء الملائم، في اختيار الدواء الأنسب، لأنه كيف ممكن غالبا يكون سعر الدواء أحد العقبات اللي تمنع المريض من أخذ الدواء. برضو تكلمنا عن تطبيقاتها للهيلث كير سيستم في بشكل كبير وبشكل خاص مثل الباير في الريمبيرسمنت، في موضوع البرايسنج استراتيجيز، في موضوع برضو الفاليو هيلث كير سيستم. once you talk about the value لازم يجي في بالك موضوع الكوست والاوتكم مع بعض، لأنه they are both together. when we put it together this is what determine about the value we're looking for. برضو في موضوع الاوتكم لازم تحدد وتتاكد what outcome you're looking for. غالبا احنا في الايكونومي نركز على الانبوت اوتكم زي كواليتي اوف لايف، نركز على اللايف يير سيف، هل فعلا مثلا احنا حفظنا حياه المريض في النهايه، زودنا في عدد السنوات اللي عاشها، not only the quantity عدد السنوات ولكن عدد مع quality. that's why we focus about the quality of life، راح يساعد البيشنت إعادة لحياته الطبيعية أو لا. زيادة استخدام health economics usually because of the high spending in the healthcare. ولو واحد فيكم راجع في الليترشر بتشوف في زيادة steadily increase in healthcare spending over years and years. So it's very important now to apply this type of concept to understand how you can allocate the resources that we have more efficiently. تطبيقات Pharmacoeconomics can provide the tools to the healthcare professionals، سواء كان أطباء، سواء كان صيادلة and healthcare professionals to make better and more informed decisions through balance both cost and outcomes. تكلمنا كثير اليوم على cost and outcome because usually when you talk to some people who not fully understand pharmacoeconomics usually think about we just dealing about the cost, and this is only one side of the picture and one side of the equations. So we have to apply it both. We consider both the cost and the outcome. You can see the pharmacoeconomics have a real application to any healthcare system. Saudi Arabia is no exceptions. You can see, and it gives a lot of examples that how we can use it to support decision for the patients at the patient level, and also it's go on until we can reach and support the entire healthcare system in the allocation of the resource and etc. And in the near future, we will have the Health Technology Assessment Agency in our country.
أما الآن حضورنا الكريم نستضيف الدكتور زياد المالكي، أستاذ مساعد ورئيس قسم الصيدلة الإكلينيكية بجامعة الأمير سلطان بن عبد العزيز، وعضو في لجنة تسعير المنتجات الصيدلانية في الهيئة العامة للغذاء والدواء. تفضل معنا دكتور زياد.
مساكم الله بالخير جميعا. وفي البداية أحب أشكر الحضور على التواجد في الوقت هذا اللي يعتبر ويكند لأغلب الناس، وأحب أقول لكم كل عام وأنتم بخير، وأسأل الله القدير أن يتقبل منا ومنكم صالح الأعمال، وأن يجعل أيامكم كلها أفراح، وأن يعيد علينا وعليكم أعوام عديدة وأزمنة مديدة وأنتم في أحسن حال يا رب. Before I get started, I would like to thank the S4 student chapter at Sultan bin Abdul Aziz University for the invitation, and also I would like to thank all the members who work tirelessly to organize such important educational event, to introduce people, especially those who are in the early stages of their career, or those who how society decides what, how, and for whom to produce. So here we think about production. We produce something. Usually goods of economics is usually they focus mainly in the inputs and production process and the outputs. So the inputs usually, the fusion of health economics is taking decisions to plan the health, to improve the health of the patient health and healthcare services. This is all about the health. Any industry with limited resources, we need economics in it. So the health is one of those industries that need economics to be involved, we use the methodological and the economical techniques to be able to manipulate and work, in the health sector to improve the healthcare service and the healthcare system and overall. Okay, actually, the triple aim, those aims should be applied in any healthcare system to improve the health of population and also to reduce the cost of healthcare to the patient and to hospital and insurance and or the payers, and also to improve the patient care and safety. Okay, how the health economics would think or would say, would solve the problem. The first component is the health and the economic development. So the health economics have great contribution to improve health and improve the economic development. The second component that the health economics would actually can contribute to is organization and delivery systems. For example, the first component is finance of the health sector. So the fourth component, demand analysis. You as a health economist will also care more about the demand. The supply analysis, on the other hand, we see supply analysis is a big issue. Some health systems big run. The health manpower also can be, the health economics can also be, contribute to the health manpower, will improve that too. Financial management, of course. So if in case the, how can financial management procedure be improved? Behavior. So that means, so organizational behavior usually talks about the efficiency. So how the manager, for example, how the manager and workers, project evaluation. I think one of the most important components that the health economists work on is projects. The last component is, I think, is one of the most important component that the health economists could contribute to, which is health policy and equity and social justice. Difference between pharmacoeconomics and health economics. I know it's this basic question for a lot of you, but it is, we created as pharmacists this science, okay? So this science was created by pharmacists. We understand the value of this science, the importance of this science. D.Bendr actually highlighted the importance of the science and why we need pharmacoeconomics. But is it sub-discipline of health economics or sub-discipline of economics? Usually, they can work in each one of those components, as long as there is medication or pharmaceutical products involved. Okay, it's just a specialty, but they use the same methods as health economists and everything, so they have ability actually to apply their techniques and everything to the, whether the like the example that D.Bendr actually provided you, pharmacist services, or maybe some type of model of care or medical devices and so on. For health economics, I would say the academia, number one, if you like doing research, and also if you like, it's a good opportunity for you to explore new areas. And also government and hospital. Now we see the Ministry of Health in Saudi Arabia, they are offering their employees to look out for acceptance in pharmacoeconomics, so they will have, free scholarship. And pharmaceutical industry, of course, the number one place for pharmacoeconomics, I would say. And also the international agency like World Health Organization and World Bank and UNICEF, they hire people as part-time, sometimes per project contract. So just for a few months, you can do that. You can take advantage of that if you have employer who are flexible to take some time off and join those agencies. And consulting companies right now is very good business. So right now, some companies or agencies, so hard for them to hire somebody who are health economists, and because they're high salary and so on. and it's hard to find. So they go to the consulting companies, so they can have contract per project to help them out to evaluate some of the the policy or new treatment or medication that is about to launch. Economics, this is the last slide. I'm not advertising for the health economics, but this is my personal observation. So you will have the job security actually, because there's shortage in every country. I'm not talking here in Saudi Arabia only. So and also the location. So every agency, every hospital, they're now looking for pharmacoeconomists and health economists in their team. So you actually can pick the location that's actually suitable for you and your family. And also the education level, it depends. It doesn't have to be, to have background in pharmacy to be a pharmacoeconomist. It doesn't matter actually, because most of those master program, PhD program, they don't require you to have PhD bachelor degree in pharmacy only. And the career advancement, of course, competitive salaries, and it's rewarding. The work you do, you're trying to help patients to improve their health and also to decrease the cost, to decrease the healthcare expenditures.
في هنا أيضا سؤال، يحتاج يكون للشخص أبحاث في اقتصاديات إدارة الدواء في هذا التخصص، يعني متطلب وظيفي أو لازم يتخصص في هذا المجال؟
ما يتطلب غالبا الابحاث يعني غالبا حسب البوزيشن اللي بتقدم فيه هو. يعني في انتم عارفين البوزيشن يبدا من يعني فريش جراديوت، اوقات ما يتطلبوا له منه اشياء كثيره. يعني اذا كان مقدم على سينيور يختلف، بس غالبا فريش جراديوت يطلب منه مثلا متخرج، يعني يوريهم بس انه هي ريلي ورك ان ذيس تايب اوف بروجكت. مو شرط يكون عنده يعني بحث وببلش، بس يعني يثبت انه فعلا اشتغل وفاهم الاريا هذه.
شكرا لك دكتور، المحاضرات الممتعة والتي أضافت لنا الكثير.